You ever sat there in the dim light of your monitor, far enough into the night it's become the morning, and then you sat down the day before, determined to get that last bit of elo. You said, one more game. But you kept losing.
Wake up.
Well, I've been there many times, and I thought to myself, why am I even playing this game? All those hours wasted, I might as well just uninstall. But I never do. Because I want to get better, but what's the point in getting better if I'll never be a pro? We all have these thoughts, but we just run it back the next day. Are we just addicted?
You should admit your situation. There will be more dignity in it.
I mean, sure, but there's more to it. Earlier this month, the YouTuber Nakey Jakey released a video on his experience playing CS as a new player. His video reminded me of why I fell in love with Counter-Strike in the first place.
We got our asses kicked.
Because when you start, you don't know why you're losing, but you are. In your first few hundred hours, you get owned a lot. My first rank was Silver 1 in 2016. Legitimately, I was Silver 1, the absolute worst rank you could be. And after continuing my loss streak well into Silver, I finally did some research. I watched Dazed, Symphosis, War Owl, and even Nothing back then, and I was bombarded with all these arcane words and imagery I couldn't make sense of, but eventually certain things stuck.
At this point, it was pretty clear which areas of my play needed a lot of work.
Yeah, aka everything.
And so I dug even deeper, and I encountered for the first time the sheer complexity of Counter-Strike's internal system. I found workshop maps, community servers, and took my first steps as a Counter-Strike player. Like Kobe shooting threes all night in the gym, I shot in aimbots. I used different styles. I would spray, I would tap, I would counter-strafe between shots, I would crouch slide, I put up walls and pretended like I'm peeking someone, made the bots move, pretended they're peeking me. I was really cooking. And then way back then I practiced all night after school, and it wasn't even hard. I loved every minute of it because I was getting better. I finally escaped the silver hell, and by my 500th hour I was LEM. That was a true accomplishment back then. It felt incredible. But why? Sure, a number or a rank goes up, but watching a number increase isn't fun. And I wouldn't say it was mindless pleasure, like, I don't know, maybe a mobile game would be. The only way I can describe it would be through comparison. Consider Counter-Strike, now hear me out, to be like a martial art. It's something you do, not because it's inherently fun, but because it's existentially rewarding. There was always something in the distance, just like a black belt inspires white belts. I told myself maybe in a few more years it could be level 10, FPL, rank S, be a pro, be like them, and that kept me in the gym, aimbots, training day after day, but I didn't become a pro. I got level 10 in rank G though, so, maybe some parts of my game were good enough. I kind of had crazy spray control. I didn't make it to the next level. And almost nobody that boots up the game ends up making it a career. And that bummed me out for a while, because I felt like all of it was a waste, that I'd spent all those years chasing mastery and failed. But, consider this. How many that do a martial art end up in the MMA, let alone getting a blue belt? It might sound cliche, but it's really not about the destination. It's about what the journey meant for you. In high school, before I started playing CS, I was a terrible student. Legitimately terrible. I never worked hard on anything in my entire life. I had no dreams, no aspirations, no real skills. But, Counter-Strike gave me something to be proud of, like a network of people I talk to nearly every day, a community, a place to exist. And at college, it blew me away how easy studying became when I compare the years of training in community maps to an exam schedule. Because through Counter-Strike, I proved to myself that I was capable of getting better at something. So why do we play Counter-Strike? Why do we suffer so greatly after a night of losing only to run it back the next day? Well, it's because we want to get better. Just remind yourself of that fact. Go watch an Austin CS video or something, hit the deathmatch, do some more aimbots, because you can get better, and once you do, you'll love the game again.